Hello students, welcome to SST class. In this video, we will learn about Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb and about the Mughal administration. Jahangir's name was Salim Nasruddin. He was the fourth ruler of the Mughal Empire who ascended the throne of Delhi after Akbar's death in 1605 CE. He was born after many prayers and by the blessings of Sheikh Salim Chishti. That is why he named as Salim to pay tribute to the saint. Jahangir was a man of justice, educated and an able administrator. He continued Akbar's religious policies. Jahangir got a large empire in heritage. He crushed the rebels and conquered Mewar, Kangra in Himachal and Ahmednagar fort in Dakhan. His own son Khurram rebelled against him. He was supported by the 5th Sikh Guru Arjan Dev. Later, Arjan Dev was killed. Jahangir was a patron of art and architecture. He built beautiful gardens and monuments. Jahangir married Noor Jahan in 1611 CE. Noor Jahan was very talented and beautiful. Her even coins were issued in her name. During Jahangir's reign, European traders commenced their trade with India. The European traders were Portuguese, the Dutch and the British. Let us come to know about Shah Jahan. Prince Khurram succeeded Jahangir as the next Mughal emperor. Shah Jahan means ruler of the world. He was born in 1592 CE to a Rajput princess Manmati, who was the daughter of Rana Uday Singh of Mewar. Shah Jahan was married Arjumand Banu Begum, who was given the title of Mumtaz Mahal. Shah Jahan is considered to be one of the greatest Mughal. His reign was one of the most prosperous ages of Indian civilization. Like Akbar, he was eager to expand his vast empire. He suppressed the revolts of Bundela Rajput and forced the rulers of Bijapur and Golconda to sign treaties with him. He shifted the capital of the Mughal Empire from Agra to Delhi and ruled from the Red Fort. We come to know about Shah Jahan's reign from the Padshahnama, which was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori. In 1658 CE, Shah Jahan fell seriously ill. A war of succession broke among his four sons Dara Shikoh, Shuja, Murad and Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb murdered his other three brothers and imprisoned his father Shah Jahan in the Agra fort, where he died in 1666 CE. Aurangzeb declared himself as the new emperor and assuming the title of Alamgir. There was a number of rebellions during Aurangzeb's reign. Aurangzeb had a conflict with the 9th Sikh Guru Tegh Bahadur, who was killed. This led to the transformation of peace-loving Sikhs into a military community called the Khalsa. The Marathas, under the dynamic leadership of Chhatrapati Shivaji, became a challenge for Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb's personality. Aurangzeb was an orthodox, God-fearing and orthodox ruler. He led a simple life and was called Zinda Peer or living saint due to his simplicity. He was of suspicious nature and didn't trust anyone. He reimposed jizya upon Hindus, which was removed by Akbar. Now let us come to know about the Mughal administration. The Mughals were capable administrators. The emperor held the supreme power. He had a numbers of ministers to assist and advise him. The most important ministers of the central government were the Vakil, Diwan, Mir Bakshi and Khan-e-Sama. The Wazir was the chief minister. The Diwan controlled the Department of Finance and Revenue. The Mir Bakshi was mainly concerned with the recruitment, maintenance, training and inspection of the army. The Khan-e-Sama was in charge of the royal household. He also managed the Karkhanas. Karkhanas means industries. The Sadr-e-Sudur was to encourage Islamic learnings. Provincial administration. For administrative purpose, the Mughal emperors divided the empire into provinces or subas. The head of the provincial administration was known as Subedar or Sipah Salar. His duties were to maintain peace and order in the province. The Subedar was the supreme military commander in the province. The Diwan, Mir Bakshi and Sadr-e-Sudur had direct control over the Subedar. The revenue system. As we know, in earlier times, the main source of income of the government was land revenue. The cultivable land was fixed, measured and land revenue charged on the basis of the quality of land and the quantity of the produce. The peasants could pay land revenue either in cash or kind. The other sources of income of the state were octroi, taxes on mines, salt tax, state trading, presents to the emperor by the nobles, fines imposed on culprits, income from minting of coins, etc. The Mansabdari system. Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system. The Mansabdars drew pay according to their ranks and had to furnish the number of men identified in their grades when called upon to do so. The king laid down general rules for the recruitment, maintenance and payment of troops. Jagirdari system. Jagir was a grant of land given by the emperor to the Mansabdars to enable him to raise funds in the form of rent and taxes. The persons who hold a Jagir were known as Jagirdars. Agrarian relations. There was a political stability under the Mughals which contributed to the growth of agriculture, trade and commerce. Agriculture dominated the economy with food grains as the principal produce. Some food grains, spices and commodities were exported from Gujarat, Bengal and Dakhan. No food stuff was imported except fruits and other delicacies for the affluent classes and royalty. The economic levels contrasted during this period. As per the tradition, anyone who first brought the land under cultivation was considered as its owner. The Mughal Empire in crisis. The Mughal emperors and their Mansabdar spent a major part of their income on salaries and goods. This expenditure benefited the artisans and peasantry who supplied the mansabdars with goods and produce. During the reign of Aurangzeb, due to the increasing financial strain on the Dakhan war, the Jagirdari system began to lose its efficiency. A large number of nobles from Dakhan were given mansabs by Aurangzeb, which created a crisis of Jagir land. And as a result of this crisis, the Jagirdars began to extract revenue from the peasantry to the maximum. I hope you understand the chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.